Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. So welcome to Real Economy Trucking, Euro style here, as we're back in Euro Truck Simulator 2. So looking through my options, I think I'm going to go ahead and we're going to take this used packaging to Montenegro here. Again, goal is to try to stay in West Balkans, which is kind of this space here. Greece is going to be a new update at some point, so not necessarily looking to get down there, but sometimes it's a challenge. So I had a bunch of things here into Serbia, but I've obviously discovered most of the cities there, so I'm doing what I can to get to places I've not been, just because I think it'll be more interesting to all of us. So let's get going. Alright, so the challenge I've got is I need to be there in less than an hour, and I had to rest. So we're going to drive a little messy. I don't know that I can make it, but we're going to try, because there's really nothing else that I'd like to do. I'm going to end up with some ridiculous fine, because I'm going really, really fast. But 4 minutes. I just don't know how far we've got to go a ways on the map. I know that. That's the problem. Alright. As long as there's no cameras, I think we'll be okay. I'm kind of keeping an eye out. There's little enough traffic, so I should be able to tell
at the roundabout. Take the third exit.
Where, where we've got stuff, as far as
exit now.
Cars coming and so forth. So that's just a regular. Yeah, this is going to be harder going around this turn.
Take the second exit.
Alright, take the second exit.
Exit now.
Problem is, I know it's like way past Zenica. So yeah, this is sloppy seconds for sure, but I'm gonna make this exception because I want to make this. I just don't know that it's even possible, frankly. This is not helping. Come on. I think we were at 1:14 or something. We had 53 minutes, so I mean, we're close to an hour. Basically, if we get there before 2 a.m., like, that'll be good, but... Alright, good news now is that we are... we're able to max this out and not really have too much of a danger. That's where we gotta go. The question is, well... And we've gone this far, so we're about halfway. So I might have a shot at this. But yeah, when I popped into the game, it yawned immediately, and I'm like, oh no, I'm at that point where I've got to rest. And, that doesn't work out, but I think we've got a shot here, so that's good, because I think it's just around a couple turns, and then we're at international paper. I am going 90, believe it or not. It is a road that will support 80, which is why it doesn't seem so harrowing. But yeah, when I saw it on the map, I'm like, ugh, an hour, if it's more than 50 kilometers or something, which it certainly could have been, because on the zoomed out map it was still not anywhere near the dot I was on. Yeah, this would be like a place they'd probably have cameras, but I'm assuming we're okay since it hasn't flagged me already. Maybe it'll do it on the exit. I don't know. Let's just hope it doesn't do it at all. Oh boy.
Keep right.
Oh, okay. So it's right there. I see it. international paper. So we're going to want to go there. Again, we don't want to get in an accident or anything.
Right.
But this, I think, is the location.
Turn right.
And like I said, I should be okay. Wasn't expecting anything, so I was just like, I'll just drive. Alright, of course he's coming.
Turn left.
We'll let him go. We're not going to get in an accident in the last moment here. I don't know that extra minute or two is going to matter, so... Now we gotta wait for the gate.
It's all over now.
Alright, did we make it? I see a couple. Nine minutes left.
Here we go.
Because, yeah, it's not that I need to deliver it, then. It's that I need to get it, or basically the way it sims it is that, you know, someone else has come. Another trucker has come and taken the order, so... Because it's not here. And again, maybe it would have replaced it with something close, but when I looked again at the jobs, basically, yeah, it was Serbia. I could have done one that took me to like the corner of Bulgaria, but Bulgaria is technically out of West Balkans, so I was just really trying to stick with what, you know, what I'm trying to do here. All right, 2 o'clock. So let's get going. But pretty simple. Bunch of waste paper. And once again, if you're new to the series, I drive when I can drive, because with real economy, it's really difficult if I like double sleep to try to just drive during the day, which is what I would do in my other series. Because, you know, first off, I'm also doing World of Trucks jobs. Those were the police, so I'm glad, A, I didn't hit them, but secondly, I didn't run into them on my bad out of hell journey here.
Turn left.
So, I will strive to be a nice truck driver now and follow the rules of the road more. Alright. Whoa! Is this correct? Yeah, it probably is, but... Okay. I hope it is. Oh.
Get ready to turn left.
I wonder if I needed to go on the other ramp. Oh well. Like, yeah, this literally just took me down. I mean, it didn't yell at me and say recalculating, so I don't understand, but maybe I did need to go this way, because I'm probably just now going to go, and then we're going to go right. If we go left, then I didn't need to do what I did. Okay, which way am... Oh, we can only go this way, I see. Sorry, doing this in the early morning and coughing and sneezing. So yeah, as soon as I finished with the coughing, I could feel a sneeze coming, which is why I said coughing and sneezing, because then I muted you to sneeze. So hopefully it all worked. I'll try to remember to listen to it before I edit. Let's get the camera set. Oh, I don't even have my cruise control set here. Alright, 65 is what we want. Alright, so we're heading back out, but we're going to do, I'm sure, a lot of roads we've never done. And we might discover 3 or 4 towns on the way, which would be excellent. So, we shall see how these all play out. But I think I've been to Montenegro before. I just don't think I've done it in this series, so... but I may not have been. I mean, I've definitely not spent as much time in Euro Truck Partially because, again, I got into the truck simulator stuff with SCS, with American Truck Simulator, and for the longest time I just was like, this is what I'm doing, I'm here. But as I started to enjoy that more, I'm like, I am intrigued with driving around in Europe. I mean, I've spent, as I've shared on and off, I think in this series, I've been to Europe a couple times for business. But it's been just in specific areas, and again, as you well know, when you're there for business, if you've ever done that, you're there for business. You're not sightseeing. You're certainly not doing a ton of driving beyond just the same thing you would do. No, that's not right, but at this point I'm here and it's dark, so I needed to go on the other piece, so we'll get to the correct side of the road here now. So thank goodness it's 3 a.m. and nobody saw me do it. It's kind of like if a tree falls in the forest and no one's around to hear it, does it make a sound? It's kind of like the same thing. If nobody saw me do that, did I? I guess you saw me do it, right? So I suppose I'm not away scot-free. Alright, I'm not seeing any symbols, so maybe these will just open, but I don't want to assume that. Alright, there we go. That gentleman is moving along pretty... Don't you dare! And he did. I don't... Okay, at least we got no crash dollars for that. It didn't look... I didn't see anything say damage %. Again, he hit my trailer, but God, I hate the AI when it does stuff like that. I mean, it's annoying enough when it just drives poorly. And it creates a danger. But when it does something like that, that's just terrible. Alright, so we're heading towards Sarajevo. I've heard about that from the Olympics. Yugoslavia, I believe. I don't know. I don't think it's called that anymore, so shows you how poor I am with current... Not that I was super great with others. I promise I'm better than most Americans with geography outside of the United States. So I could certainly tell you most countries, which continent they are, which I understand is not a really high bar. But also, usually the area and so forth. It just, I will admit, this space here has always been a bit confusing. I'm more familiar, as I think most people are, with Western Europe and where countries are and so forth, but that's kind of the draw of coming to Euro Truck Simulator 2. But yeah, so I was in Germany, mainly around Berlin. We did one evening. We were like, let's get on the Autobahn. Let's go fast. There's no speed limit. Again, we don't, that's unique to us in the United States. Like, every road has a speed limit, other than like little country gravel roads maybe. So, and if you're crazy enough to try to go 140 on those, you're usually not around to tell anyone about it, because those roads aren't made for that, and results usually are not good. But so it's an intriguing thing for certain to try to do that, but then the goal, I was like, well, let's find your typical postcard town. Let's see if we can do that. And so just as the sun was setting, we found this little village. I have no idea how far from Berlin we were, but we had driven for a while. I want to say 45 minutes. So we certainly, I don't think we're in any suburbs. We were well beyond that. And yeah, we found the little cottages, whatever, but they had this large piece of land with some interesting, it was almost castle-like buildings, but I would think, like, was it a former concentration camp of some sort? Just the way, but there weren't a lot of those type of short, squat type buildings, but it was collapsing and some rubble and whatever, and definitely it wasn't like someone currently was doing anything with it, or didn't seem like they were. So that was intriguing. But obviously none of us spoke German, and it wasn't like we were just going to go start knocking on people's doors. Hey, what is this thing? So I don't know what it was, because we didn't even know like what town we were at. So even if we wanted to ask people when we got back to work the next day, hey, we went out to Sassenbargen or whatever, I don't know. I'm being disrespectful to German people, just making up terrible town names. But you know, so I don't know what it was. But that was the extent of my driving in Europe for the most part. So I made a couple trips out to that area, and we would drive around mainly within Berlin, which, you know, is still a little different. Driving in a European city compared to American cities still has some differences, but for the most part it's similar. So that's what kind of intrigued me. Like, I'm sure there's all kinds of things, and if nothing else, like, I just haven't seen other areas of Europe, and it certainly is not going to replace actually getting to places at some point. It's still on our bucket list to get to Europe. You know, my wife at least went, you know, kind of the typical, you know, right out of college or in college thing. You know, she made a trip with her aunt. Other people go over with friends, or, you know, whatever it is. My exposure to going to Europe has been for business trips as an adult. So I've never vacationed there, and that's certainly on the list, to just go and see the sights and enjoy ourselves. And we'll see if that all pans out, you know, because sometimes the best laid plans, you know how those things go. That's why there's a guy named Murphy, right? Savat Logistics. So again, this is also part of it, is just seeing the other... Oh, this is a person. I don't know. Am I going to be able to move over enough? Because I think this is automated. Yep. And I don't know. Maybe the other one would have done this. No, it wouldn't have. Alright, dude. You're ahead of me. I'm not SCS AI. I am not going to drive into the side of you like this guy behind me probably will. Alright. So yeah, I really thought it would be easy to get to these things, but as things go, I have gotten sucked in.
Get ready to turn right.
I don't know that I would say in a good way. You know how sometimes when you're like, you've got a goal and you're trying to accomplish an achievement, and you're like, dang it, I am going to figure this out. That's what I'm doing with the map in Mini Airways. So one of the things that they have as Steam achievements on any of the maps is you need to get 150 planes controlled, and then you get kind of the professional achievement on that map. And I've done it as I've played on a couple of the maps as I went through to unlock them, but the majority of them, I'd say 90% or more, I did not. And so now I'm cycling back from the beginning, and so the first one I did, I'd say relatively easily, because I've learned things as I've played the game and so forth. While I'm on LaGuardia, and I threw a video out about SIDS and stars using Mini Airways and doing that as I was trying to get there, and I got close. I got 144. That's the closest I've been. I'm still typically losing and crashing between 90 and 120. And I have spent, I kid you not, 15 plus hours trying to get that achievement. And typically a game session, it'll take you 30 to 40 minutes to get up to that point of, you know, over 100 planes controlled. So, you know, I've tried it 30 times or so. And damn it, I'm gonna beat it. So, but that has consumed like major portions of the last 3 or 4 days, and you know, we're heading out of town. So if you only watch this series, you probably don't know that. If you watch other things on the channel, you will have known that. So yeah, the content on the channel will be pretty much either non-existent or some rounds of golf that I was able to get out and get done ahead of time. But I had the intent of doing other things, and all my sim time has been chewed up with that, because I'm like, I am going to beat this. And so I at one point I was playing for 6 hours straight trying to do it and couldn't. And I will get there. So after this, I'm gonna probably go back and work on that a little bit. So maybe there won't be any more golf this weekend. I don't know. We'll see how things go and how I feel. Although I do want to practice my golf game too, because I'm trying to make some fine-tuned adjustments to my swing mechanics to hopefully get me over that hump where I'm just not playing well. I've got one individual who's given me some very specific pointed comments that are definitely helping, and but it's hard. And that's another one of those that I'm like, I am gonna figure this out. Like, and I enjoy that. I mean, I will say the mini airways thing, there have been several times I have used a good amount, and I would have made pirates proud with my cursing when the planes crashed into each other, especially as I'm, you know, 5-6 hours into a session and thinking I'm going to do it this time. And, you know, with the golf, I don't really feel that way. There's a little bit of frustration sometimes, but because the golf is just so different, there's a lot of enjoyment regardless of how I score. I mean, there's more enjoyment if I score well, I'm not gonna lie, but... Alright, so... Alright, we must not have the cruise control, the adaptive cruise control in Euro Truck. I thought it existed in both. And I don't remember that we had to turn it on. I definitely know it is working in American Truck Simulator. So, I don't know. It doesn't really matter, you know, I mean, I can drive appropriately. But it also may only be on certain trucks, or it may not exist in Euro Truck Simulator, because maybe they don't allow that type of thing, and so SCS has been like, no, we're not going to put that in this version. Alright, there we go. Mostar, Road to the Adriatics, 8 of 30. It's on the Steam achievement, good to know. But that's one. Again, I'm hoping we're obviously going to have at least 2 now, because when we get to our location, we'll obviously have it. I don't remember if I reset my trip meter now, because I am at the 260s, so in theory, like, I thought it was like in the upper 200s. Although this doesn't seem nearly long enough. And I think I know where this is, and I think this was way up. But in any event, not really commenting or enjoying... I mean, I am enjoying the scenery, I'm just obviously talking about something else, but... Enough of that, but that's what's going on with me. And kind of the why, if you follow the channel somewhat in real time, why you're going to see a bit of a dearth of content for a few days. Because there's just nothing in the pipeline. I mean, there are some things that are out there. Like I've actually gotten a good ways ahead on my NASCAR series. Alright, I assume we're not turning left into the gas station, so we're turning here. We might need to rest again, which would kind of suck. Wow, this is interesting. And again, I'm sure ProMods is integrated here too, so it's hard to tell, because I mean, it took a year or whatever. for them to, or 6 months to integrate with West Balkans, which is why it took so long to get this to the channel. Yeah, I'm guessing this is a ProMod type thing. I could be wrong. Goodness. It's fun though. It's challenging. Alright, Buna. Well, at least he saw me and slowed down. And I think I've heard that, yeah, like Montenegro is a bit mountainous and hilly, so... And I don't know that we're quite there yet, but obviously it doesn't just go from flat to mountainous, you know, it's not some fake landscape, it's the Earth, and the Earth kind of gradually changes things in most cases. Good news is, in the discussion about why I've not been putting stuff out, and how I've been spending my time, we've gotten to daylight. So, we're here in this beautiful space. Ooh, what's that up there? It's like a little, speaking of castle ruins and stuff, it kind of looks like a turret up there on top of the hill. I could be entirely wrong, I don't know. And again, if this is not SCS, I mean, that's a heck of a thing. Yeah, there's definitely walls and stuff there. But that's a heck of a thing to work on for the ProMods people. But that is the kind of stuff they do. Like, you'll notice if you've seen me do any of the series with custom maps, so like the Coast to Coast series, you can look for Coast to Coast and American Truck Simulator on the channel. And there's a good amount of episodes there where I had a bunch of custom maps in American Truck Simulator. And if you look at when I'm driving on those versus any of the videos in this series,
go straight on. The
scenery is always incredible here in Europe, which is another reason I really have come to love Euro Truck. But kind of going back to, I've spent less time. I don't think I've even gotten quite yet to 300 hours in Euro Truck, where I'm over 800. I don't think I'm quite to 900 in American Truck Simulator. So definitely much less time here. And what I don't know is the entire landscape. I think now with everything that's available, with ProMods and all of that, I mean, I think there's far more distance here in Euro Truck than there is in American Truck Simulator currently. You know, especially, and again, I mean, some of it is then a ferry, like if you go to the Middle East, which, you know, I've done in this series. We've gone out to Lebanon and Israel and stuff like that. So there are episodes back here, again, if you're new and you haven't followed it along, even though it's technically not in Europe, like it's part of Euro Truck, because that's where you can get there. So, but I'm trying to remember, I might be, if I have discovered 10% of the roads in here, it's between 10 and 20, and I want to say it's closer to like 12-13%. So my opportunity to go places I've not gone is massive here, where, you know, I'm at a much higher percentage completed in American Truck Simulator, and maybe not in the profile that I'm using for this channel, but certainly in the driving I've done in those 900 hours. You know, and some of it is simply because, you know, when I first started American Truck Simulator, they had just released Colorado. Since then, you know, we've probably doubled the number of states that were available when I started. And, you know, but in the beginning, for the first 6 months, which certainly, as with any new pastime, you spend more time there, just like I'm doing with Mini Airways, which is kind of new to me, and well, it's new to everybody. It's actually, that's the only sim on the channel that I would say I may have been a one of the first people on YouTube to put significant content out for, so because I was using it like within the first week after launch. That usually doesn't happen on this channel. Usually I'm coming across things that are 6 or 7 years old and they're new to me. Ooh, this has got a bunch of switchbacks, so I'm guessing we're climbing some big mountain here and looking out into that valley. Clearly there's some stuff. Alright, the border. Wow, the border's up here. This is awesome. It's like the Tour de France in the mountains, and I know that we're nowhere near France, but you know, just the switchbacky roads, and it's like the only time I've gotten to see the European mountains. And again, I don't know, again, I'm kind of using the languages I'm familiar with, like Montenegro would seem to be black mountains. You know, so that's partially why maybe it's clicking in my head that Montenegro is mountainous, but don't know. Okay, so Italian. It was like Italia Euro mask or something. Oh goodness. I better take a look, I guess, but it seems like I'm gonna have to rest. I hope I have that much time to get there, but this should probably be where I do it, because who knows when the next one's coming. No, I can't do it here. That's on the other side, so I'm gonna have to keep going for a bit. Alright, good news is all the cars are in line, but as the truck, we're able to get through here pretty well. Alright, we're going to start the border check. And then in the meantime, we're going to look at the map. Oh goodness, yeah. Not getting there before I sleep. So I guess if I can't... My goodness, where can I sleep? Okay, there's one there. Is there something? Alright. Can I sleep at DHL? Maybe. So maybe I can do that. But yeah, we're getting into Montenegro now, finally leaving. So we came from Zenica, if you're wondering. Well, you can see. So we're past halfway. Are we 2/3? But there you go. 7.07% of the map explored. So the likelihood of me, you know, going over things, if I choose not to... Alright, fine. You go. I'm not going to get into a fight with you, because I know I'm going to lose. First off, you're just going to barrel into me. But, anyway. So I'm curious, because a lot of these border crossings you have, like you're leaving the one. That is just beautiful. Wow. I don't know that there's a lot to do as a tourist, or honestly, how safe it is to travel in this part of the world, but man, just to drive on a road like this would be almost worth the trip. That is awesome. And it's a shame that we have to have those conversations in these days, but you know, not that you didn't in the past, but it's probably more prevalent now, where it's like, is it safe to travel? Is it... Just wish people we were all a lot more peaceful, but that's just not human nature, I guess. Alright, so this is the danger. And this sometimes happens in Euro Truck for sure, where I've run into places where it's like, yeah, this is a lot further than I'd like to go. Alright, so we're gonna go to cruise, but slow it down to what I can do, because this is not a roadway. When we talked about those country roads that, hey, you could go 120, but you probably wouldn't be here to talk about it. This is one of those European roads. Maybe that rock. There's like a big warehouse over there or something. I'm assuming we're going to kind of go around there. But again, if you look at that, and this may be SCS content, it may be a mixture, I don't know. So it might be totally unfair, but you're not going to get, like, you look off to the side in the American Truck Simulator ones sometimes, and you can tell where the world just doesn't exist anymore. Which is really kind of disappointing that you kind of get sucked out of the immersion that way because of how they do it. Yeah, I know I'm getting tired, but it does look like the blue is normally arrest, but really the DHL logo on top of it is confusing the heck out of me. But yes, it's definitely a rest spot, and oh my goodness, I think that's messed up. I think that's a graphic glitch. Alright, so I'm assuming this is my rest spot here. Is that like a food truck, or is this just the guy that got to pay to sleep here tonight? Not sure.
Never mind. I'll find a new route.
I think I literally went through the one little point.
Please make a U-turn when possible.
There it is. Alright. Let's rest. So again, another loan installment. I've paid now $257 twice on this trip. So 500 euros. I'm only getting paid 664 euros.
Get ready to turn right. Turn right.
Alright. I can't tell if my lights are on. I don't see any indicator either, so that's not helping. 1, 2, 3. Alright, well, we'll wait until it gets a little darker, I guess, and then we'll find out. Or we'll get fined, and then we'll know. But usually it's 3, so that's why you're hearing 3 clicks, if you're able to hear those. Because I believe they were on when it was nighttime before. Obviously, I didn't have any problem going to get the load.
Turn right.
Alright, so those cotton candy trucks are just, there's some skin that isn't rendering properly, so it may not exist or whatever, because I do have some mods about real companies and whatever. I do that in all my series, because I just, you know, I enjoy that. Alright. Blue Star. That seems very strange to have a English sign like that here. But maybe not. Maybe that is normal. Alright, so we'll get our cruise back up to 85. See, like, their lights are clearly on. I'm hoping mine are clearly on too, but I don't know. This is awesome. I am enjoying this run a lot. This is really a beautiful drive. Hopefully you're enjoying it as well. There we go. Non-English sign, like I might expect in a country that probably doesn't have English as its official language. So yeah, this turned out to be a little bit longer run than I expected, but it's alright. Again, I'm enjoying myself. Now, you know, the sad news is it's going to be getting dark, so... But because of what I said, like, I can't get close to another loan installment. I can't sleep for 20 hours, or rest for 20 hours, and then move on for 4. I'll absolutely lose money that way. So, and that's part of what I'm testing here to some degree is, can you run with some realistic rates, or will it bankrupt me?
Exit now.
Because again, we have the money we have because of a pretty big loan. That's how we were able to get the truck and whatever. Otherwise, I'd just be doing contracts for hundreds of episodes, because when you're making, you know, 100 euros in profit every trip, it takes a long time to save up for a truck because... oh, we must have found a other... because it was 8 of 30 when we found the one I saw. There must have been another village that we discovered that I missed.
Exit now.
Or I thought it said 8 and it said 9. But I'm pretty sure it said 8. But now we're up to 10.
At the roundabout. Take the
Lots of
second
roundabouts, which I know they love in Europe, and then they do help
Exit
with traffic
now.
flow, as you can see. Like, nobody has to stop versus here. We'll be waiting. Alright, I do have my lights on. I can finally start to see them on the road. Ambulance. No lights are on, so at least nobody's hurt. That's always good. Alright, let me butcher whatever language this is. Hrana Puna
Go straight
Lubavi. That's what I'm going to go with. If anybody is from Montenegro or knows the language they speak there and can verify, was I close? Again, I'm probably pulling some Italian Spanish in there that probably shouldn't be. I mean, I do have the Polish background, so in theory, I'm assuming this might be more likely to be a Slavic type language down here. Just looking at like Petrovac and stuff like that, or Podgorica is again what I would say is the name of the town. So again, I bring all those things to bear, where, like I said, while I'm not a geography expert in Europe, just because I've never had to be, it's just not something I've studied enough to
At
feel
the roundabout,
comfortable.
Take the first exit.
Sanama
Keep right.
Je Kuvane Laske. We'll
Exit
go with that.
now.
Alright. Agroplastic. I'm going to assume that's like some sort of agricultural plastic or recycled plastic. It's interesting how it's getting late, but it's not getting super dark super fast, which is great, because then we get to see more. Beta Electrical. Alrighty. So, I'm sure
Go straight on.
we're getting... oh, you know, I'm going way too fast. I didn't realize I was still at 85. But I'm suddenly like, this is a really quick turn. And then I'm looking at the speed finally. I'm just enjoying the sights. Mahala. Aerodrome, I assume is what airport...
At the roundabout.
airport means?
Take the
Aeroport?
first exit.
Okay.
Exit now.
Petrovac. It's like I'm going to the bar. I'm going to go get some drinks. I'm going to the Petrovac bar. But bar's obviously just another city. Alright, so there's a drop-off point there. Yeah, I would love to know, is this SCS? Is this ProMods? Is this a combination?
Second exit.
But whatever it is, well
Exit
done,
now.
folks. Whoever is responsible for this. Just really, really a fun landscape to drive through. And in the end, you know, God created the landscape, so I guess we have to, you know, thank Him to begin with, and you know, then the designers just created a rendition of it. So the ultimate creator was that, but still, really, really cool. So, long straight tunnel. But Montenegro is living up to my expectations of being mountainous. It certainly is. So I'm glad I took the trip down here. I'd say this is the most interesting landscape I've hit in Euro Truck Simulator. It's really, really cool. But I love mountains, so I'm a little biased. Oh boy. Well, thank goodness no one was coming. fish. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Yes, I came down the hill too fast. I'm not from this area. I apologize for, at what, 9:30 at night, scaring the heck out of you. Alright, I see our spot. Good news is we won't need to rest before next time either, so I won't have the same craziness. Ah, it's Bar. Are we delivering to Bar? Maybe? Maybe that's our final destination. I really wasn't paying attention because I honestly didn't care.
Take the second exit.
Oh, see, and now we didn't get any points, so I'm guessing, like, this town is, this must be a ProMods town because it's not part of the achievement. So, it's possible this whole thing is not on the SCS map, that we just have a road. And again, do we have the same road? Is this a totally different design? I don't know.
Exit now.
But that's the only explanation that I would have for why the achievement, like this didn't count to the achievement. Or it does, and that's why I didn't see 9 of 30, and I was surprised because we had discovered one, but we didn't, like it didn't pop up the achievement. And now when I get another one at some point, it's going to say 12.
Take the first exit.
I don't know.
Exit
Class
now.
partners. And again, you could have trucks from England out here.
then turn
I mean, it's Europe. Alright, so
Turn left.
assuming it's here, and yes, now that she's said it the second time, I feel much more confident.
Get ready to turn right.
If I do need to rest, again, we have a parking lot across the way.
Turn right. And
So,
then turn right.
just awesome design for stuff like that. I do like that.
Turn right.
Okay,
Was a nice
Automarocci.
ride.
I'm gonna go with that Italian-ish pronunciation. Alright, I gotta go over there. I need to get through the gate first. So again, the trailers having wheels that turn on them, which happens in Europe a lot. Helpful there for sure. I did see that one turn. I'm gonna do this so you can see the back wheel turned. So that is something that I do enjoy too, because again, that's just not what you would have in US trailers, and one would say probably because we're terrible users of space and we just throw stuff down and pave over it without a thought, and we have more room to maneuver. But there's something to be said for, hey, we adapted to a tight space and we only use the space we need. So I appreciate it. But anyway, I'm gonna try to stay in the trailer, in the cab, and do this a little more first person. So my other series, the American Truck Simulator series, that's a rule, because basically once I took the maps out, I was like, alright, how do I make it a little more intriguing or challenging for me? And that's what I came up with. Alright, we did get it. So, disconnect. But yeah, the turning axle there certainly helped make that tight entry easier. So 662 after I've paid out 500 in the loan. Hey, we've leveled up. 819 and the toughest trailing maneuvering. So awesome stuff. And you know, again, these ranks go up, which then give me a few more euros, a few more XP as I rank up. So it's always important. So a wonderful milestone here. Alright, so we have all our hazmat. I don't need more distance. That's make episodes too long. Unless people really want that, you know, you can let me know. So, special cargo, high value, just in time. Just in time might work, because if I get that, and then I keep getting those, you know, those higher ranks. So yeah, as always, I'm clearing out the trailer upgrades and the truck upgrades. Yeah, the trailer upgrade that came up, I can do a refrigerated trailer for 62,000 euros, which again would be part of my thing. I don't know that I'm going to go to the point of using a trailer here. I think just being able to haul whatever is probably the most effective way to do Euro Truck, at least for now. I think running the risk of I can't find a load would be really bad, as tight as we are, because if you remember when we started this episode, 5,500 profit in a day, one day into this trip, because I had to go through 2 loan payments and whatever, dropped more than 2,000 euros in my profit over 7 days. So that's the thing, like once in a while there'll be something lucrative, once in a while my other drivers will do some stuff. Because again, I do have, with the loan I got, I did grab some drivers, but you can see, like, I'm making 74 euros per kilometer. I've still got Robert here who's costing me money. So I'm hoping this guy gets something going. Otherwise, I don't know, it almost doesn't make sense to have him. He's costing me 60 euros a day. Not the kind of employee I need. I need to make a little bit of money at least. But this is exactly why, accidents, fines, whatever it is, super costly in this series. So I'm having to be very, very careful. And, it's probably the closest to hardcore mode you're going to get in the truck simulator stuff is running a good real economy mod. So that is what I'm trying to do, but hopefully you're enjoying it. If you are and you haven't dropped a like, please consider that. If you are not a subscriber, please consider that. I should be able to get the other episode out on time 8 days from now. But again, given that I'll be out and whatever, there is a possibility there might be a delay. I'm not going ahead and recording a couple today and working on them because I feel I'll be fine. I did that with American Truck Simulator to make sure, because the episode there is due the day after we return, and I didn't want to come home and then kind of have this obligation to get something done and edited and all that. But with all that said, I will see you next time.